and you'll love Demon Knight.
So Tales from the Crypt Demon Knight is the movie version of the Tales from the Crypt TV show, kind of an extension of that came out, it was on HBO way back in the day. And so this movie is like I said, a movie version of that, give it a bigger budget. And, we see that, it has very much influence from those comics and everything, and the TV show. So the movie kind of follows this character. He's trying to escape this other character who is, a demon. He is, a demon, and he's trying to escape this guy with like this chalice of blood that we find out was from the blood of Christ. And so he goes to this little small town, and he stays at this hotel, and this hotel gets overrun by these demons, who the leader of them is played by Billy Zane, who this is probably one of the roles he probably had some of the most fun with ever. So maybe this character in Titanic, but this is probably his most ridiculous kind of mustache twirling villain characters. So I've never really watched the Tales from the Crypt show. I know there are certain actors who are in that show who were in this movie. You get like the Crypt Keeper comes back, and he has a whole scene at the beginning of the movie, and they do the opening at the beginning. And so yeah, this movie is I wasn't expecting for it to be like this movie's kind of gory, and the effects are actually really well done. I wasn't really expecting that. Like I said, I never watched the show, so I didn't know what to expect, but definitely wasn't expecting the amount of gore and effects that they did have, especially like some of the demons. And then later on, there's like a scene with this kid and everything, which is pretty brutal. So like I said, I wasn't expecting that, but the movie's very interesting. It's kind of it's okay. It's not, like I said, it's not the best film I ever watched before, but definitely an interesting watch. Like I said, if you're a fan of the Tales from the Crypt TV show, or hell, even the comics, then I think you'd like it. I know there was a sequel that came out after. It's called Bordello of Blood. I don't think it has the same. It's not held to the same esteem as this movie. So, as a matter of fact, at the very end of the movie, they actually tease the second one. They didn't go with that title, but they actually teased that second one. And like I said, I don't think that one is as popular as this one. I think that one came out in like the early 2000s. But as of this movie goes, like I said, the cast is pretty great. You got CCH Pounder, William Sadler, Billy Zane, Thomas Hayden Church, Jada Pinkett Smith, Charles Fleischer, who's the voice of Roger Rabbit, and I'm sure there's some other ones in there that I'm missing. But yeah, the whole cast is pretty good. The only, like I said, there's two cops that are pretty stupid characters, but one of them ends up being the hero at the end. But this movie definitely is, like I said, a continuation of that show. From what I've seen, like I said, what I've seen, I think it's an imitation of, like I said, a continuation of that show. I think tone-wise, from what I've seen people talk about it on. But like I said, I've never watched it, so maybe that's something to check out. But yeah, the movie is very interesting and weird and grotesque, and it's not like it's not scary or anything like that, but it's definitely an interesting watch if you're not familiar with horror. I think it's a good starter movie. Like maybe some language, maybe not the best, and maybe the nudity. Yeah, I don't think the nudity is great either. But I think if you want to get your kids into start like something that's like very mild horror, I think this probably might be a good starter horror movie. Like to get about the teenage years and stuff like that. So yeah, that's really much all I could say about it. So let me know what you guys think about this movie in the comments below. And yeah, so hey guys, welcome to Viewer Submissions. And today, like I said the other week, I asked, what are some of your favorite horror movies, or if you have any questions for me to answer in this portion. And today we have an answer from @KillianFangirl on Instagram, and I asked her those questions. What's your favorite horror movie? Or if you had any questions for me? And she said, 28 days later, because it is catalyst of all zombie movies that came after it, so many movies and series such as The Walking Dead were influenced by this movie. Cillian Murphy's portrayal of Jim helped give the weaker characters a chance to be heroes. In a genre, intelligence can outwit the dead. Yeah, I think she's right. I think, I've heard a lot of people who review movies and talk about movies, especially zombie movies. She talks about how 28 days later, inspired a lot of the newer genre, or the newer, tropes that we see in the zombie genre. Like I said, this movie, came out somewhat 20 years ago now, almost. So, definitely has the, the staying factor and some of the stuff that we apply to movies today. That they applied 30 years ago, and like I said, I haven't seen them yet, so definitely ones to want to check out. And so thank you for your response. That's at Killian Fangirl on Instagram. Her link will be in the description below. That was the 1995. Tune in tomorrow for the 1996 review. Not gonna spoil what it is, so look out for that, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.